So Atire, who was the production director, has left. The person who was responsible for scheduling updates and managing the team's team for the game's ongoing support.
Well, you can see why he would want to, maybe move on to something new after that.
Yeah, I think it's just like, all right, Cyberpunk, we can draw a line under it.
Yeah.
That's it. Time to move on. I think that's what they're doing. Ultimately, when we think about this stuff, if they're charting ahead their vision for their company, we know that they're moving to Unreal Engine 5 for their new projects. That means, and they're also doing parallel development on Witcher and Cyberpunk stuff. That's not such that they will have a Witcher and a Cyberpunk coming out, same year or something.
That would be smart.
They want to have a Witcher game, a Cyberpunk game, a Witcher game, Cyberpunk game with massively increased overall team sizes to be able to do this. They just, they don't want like a 7-year wait between their games or something like that. So I'm thinking that overall for them, any investment into UE5 stuff is going to be worth it, because it's not like you just buy Unreal Engine 5 and it has everything you need. No, you need to integrate your pipeline into that. You've got to work out so many things, right? Where anything that they're doing in Red Engine is basically just investing time and resources into something that is old, that is not in alignment with their long-term company vision, whereas if they invest that in future projects, well, new technology made for Witcher 4 might help the next Cyberpunk game, and vice versa, right? Because they're a big role-playing game studio. They're going to move to UE5 and then make all of the tools they need for a role-playing game. So where the bad side of this was, say, EA, Frostbite, I think they are basically trying to do the sensible version of that. And ultimately, I think that's why they thought, sure, we could probably do really well off a second expansion to Cyberpunk, or that team could be moving over to the thing that is actually our company's future. And I have to imagine that is the thing that they decided to do.
Yeah, and for I think what this kind of means for Cyberpunk players and people who are kind of interested in that game, because like when it comes to the expansion comes out, because the vast majority of people who bought The Witcher 3, right? I imagine most of them bought like the complete edition at the end of the day. The one that's, hey, this is everything, like enhanced edition, this is it perfect, this is everything it's max out for. This is the best experience you could possibly have. It took a long time to get there, but it's there. Same with people playing like No Man's Sky now. In this realm of, and this is starting to become very personal to how I feel about video games, you just can't play everything. There's literally not enough hours in the day. If you didn't need to sleep and played games for 24 hours a day, there would still be far too many for you to actually, get through. In this realm of live service games eating every second of your time in often enjoyable enough ways, and 7,000 indies of the same genre that have infinite playtime, it's like it kind of gets to that point where if you were disappointed by Cyberpunk and maybe you were too annoyed by it and didn't buy it, it's like you can probably have a very good experience if you buy the expansion when it comes out, or wait for like, I guess maybe a year after that and then get it. Maybe you'll get like the new consoles at a decent price, or a better experience for like I mean, looking at the leaked benchmarks from NVIDIA's new graphics card series, it's like, do you want to play Cyberpunk 4K 144 Hz in 2024? Go for it. Like,
sounds a lot better to me.
Yeah, maybe that's a bit out there, but even 40p 140 Hz perfectly playable, especially when you get into mods and you think, well, Cyberpunk is a great baseline. It is once they fix a couple things, but even if you think about what happened in Skyrim, and this is not a defense of CD Projekt Red, I mean, I think it's perfectly acceptable to go, hey, modders, work away, we'll see what you can do. Because you look at, like, I remember even not long after it launched, I remember playing Skyrim on PC with a complete combat overhaul mod. And I was like, oh, that stuff was all, like, actual base Skyrim combat, boring, awful. But then I played with the combat overhaul with especially, like, a bow that added loads of physics to bow projectiles, and, like, this feels absolutely incredible.
Yeah. So
the idea for me, personally, of going and playing Cyberpunk, because I never particularly cared about the game outside of the spectacle and the idea that it was going to be great. But like, this could just be, in a couple of years, like when you played New Vegas for the first time and you went and got the best mods and the unofficial patch that fixed all the bugs, with hopefully the red mod tools are good